When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim you're African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace, 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 and power, family. Dr. DAW back in the box with QueenA B. Doc in the box. I got to start off, family, by saying this. I'm a bit tired today. And Queen has a way of when you go live, talking out on the thing, like I can't hear it. Like that's like, even if it's low, that is just not better than her complaining about not being able to hear it. Although everybody else is going to hear it, I can't hear it. Like, who wants that at the beginning of their intro? I can't hear it. Turn you. I'm like, this
who did that?
You when you go and listen to it again, and when you leave out, last week you left out saying something. This week she coming. So I'm not going to play another live. I'm not going to play any more on or off going. Queen for now is going to be the person that just, we're going to start the show with Queen saying, I can't hear it. And we're going to leave the show. What did she say last week? She said something. You know what she did last week? She was like, she said, whew, like when we got, well, when we finished, I listened to it a few times. I'm like, she was releasing after that show. I was like, what was she was, yeah. Did you notice that at the end?
No.
Did you notice? Huh? You don't go back and look at the shows.
Some of them, but not much, because that critiques. It's hard to you critique yourself so hard when you keep looking back.
I know, but Queen, at the beginning, we're gonna practice some etiquette.
Yes, I have to get etiquette. I have to go to etiquette class.
All right, family. Thank you, family. Go ahead and share this video. Like this video. Talk to us today in the chat. Join us on the platform. What's Sister Queen say? Jump in the chat and don't hold back.
Don't hold back.
You know, make sure you follow.
Come for us. We need the shade. Shade it up.
Follow us on BlakPox Radio. You can go to YouTube and go to @BlakPox Radio. You can look up in the right-hand corner of your screen, and you can see how BlakPox is spelled. Because, you know, Sister Queen is unique in all that she does. Even that finger she was just pointing just now, I have no idea what that meant. And, you know, I think that's what Kamala was doing. I think that's what Kamala was doing the other day when she was looking at Trump.
No, she went. She put the arm on him. He terrible. Well, go ahead.
Let's
take our time.
Let's take our time. She said she needs me to get started.
Bro,
peace. Cliff,
peace, Cliff.
What it is.
Clifton 212. What's up, bro?
You know, so nonetheless, family, Queen, what's happening? Speak to the people.
Greetings, everyone, from the South Carolina studios. I want to say, listen, I am happy. I'm over. It's Virgo season. Did y'all know that? Virgos are in season. And BlakPox Radio has a birthday next week. 9/19, guys. 9/19. We're 5 years old. So I'm excited about. I'm a Virgo also. So Virgo, this is Virgo season for sure. I'm excited. Let me tell you something. This week has been kind of hot because we know we had this debate. And so I had to kind of, we got to talk about this debate. So that's what we're here tonight to talk about. But I still want you guys to be happy that it's Virgo season. Virgos are everything. We are the salt of the earth. And so we're in Virgo season right now.
The salt, you
Black
say?
Box. The salt. Absolutely.
The salt of the earth.
The salt of the earth.
What are you saying, that you preserve the earth?
Of course, we're preservatives to everyone, the Virgos.
But you're also dehydrators, huh?
Oh my goodness. so no, we don't dehydrate. But also, guys, for real. Huh?
I mean,
leave Virgos alone. Like, share, subscribe.
Salt without water, boys. Salt without water is a thing, yeah.
Like, share, subscribe. We come with a lot of energy tonight, for real, because this is serious. We are in voting season. This is a presidential election. We had the two candidates up on Wednesday. What's today? Thursday. Oh no, on Tuesday. So we had Super Tuesday. Then it was 9/11. And then tonight is 9/12, and we're getting ready to blow this thing up. So, Doug, what did you think about your two candidates, Trumpy and Mala?
What did I think? I was listening to some people after the debate, you know what I mean? And I heard somebody say Trump got mollywopped. I don't even know what that is, but mollywopped. So I looked at quite a few still doing deep exhaling activities. What's going on here? What's happening over there? I mean, blowfish do that to survive in the world, you know what I mean?
No, my screen went all white. That's why I did that face. But now I'm back. Okay. Yeah, I'm back. I got a whole white screen. It scared me. But go ahead.
Yeah, okay. You do look a little pixelated as well. But no, really. But
oh, sorry.
But nonetheless, I looked at the debate, and again, I always lead this conversation off saying, when we're considering this conversation, I think to even join in on this discussion, many times, I'm coming from a place to say this with the understanding that Trump nor Kamala are liberational or liberatory. Yeah. What's that signal set we said we're going to do, Queen? We're going to do that signal out. That signal, back up, Queen, back up. I'm hearing myself. All right, so Trump. I mean, when I looked at it, and I don't have what they call a horse in this quote unquote fight or what have you. If I had to just keep it 100, I would say Kamala did give him that work to some degree. I mean, she was doing all the antics and everything, but I think she held it down. I think Trump, but later on, listening to some of Trump's people, I feel like it doesn't really matter though.
Why doesn't it matter?
Because they don't care about him lying. They already know he's a liar.
Yep.
They don't care about him being a criminal. They already know he's a criminal.
They
don't care about him losing his temper. They know, and they probably even like that. I mean, I heard a lot of people, Roland Martin, getting happy because what's her name? What's the white singer name? Oh,
Swiftie Taylor.
Okay, yeah, Taylor Swift. Breaking alert: Taylor Swift has endorsed Kamala. So yeah, nonetheless, if I had to really look at it on if it really mattered type of case, I would say Kamala really held it
down. Okay, I agree. But again, like you said, I don't think that really matters in the grand scheme of things, because we know she is presidential, or she's a great orator. We know she's a prosecutor, so she knows how to speak. She knows how
Famous.
to poke the bear. You saw she poked the wallaby all night on Tuesday, and he reacted. So we can see she knows what she's doing.
Mm.
But they got something in this country called the Electoral College. And let's be clear that wins. That is the reason why you win, and that's the reason why you go forward. And Electoral College, you can be very popular and still lose. So you guys don't start celebrating yet, because the EC has the final say. And it's the most skewed, predatory racial system of their systems.
So, example, Trump started quoting or citing maybe with some conspiracy theories.
What's that?
What he started talking about.
They eat dogs. Haitians, they eat
yeah,
dogs out here.
Yeah, I didn't even understand what he was saying in the moment when I was listening to it, but after reviewing some people, he was talking about immigrants or something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even like
dogs.
I don't even like the word saying immigrant, to be honest with you, but because it's become so derogatory. So now saying that they're eating dogs, they're doing this, they're doing that, and he just cites some crazy stuff. But Kamala sitting there calling him out about it, like allow him to do it, like really like bringing some light to him saying these things. Like, you really think that matters? This is the same guy that told you to put bleach in your arm. Like, if the society wasn't already fear mongered, most of Trump's followers, and even Kamala's to a degree, are operating from a place of fear.
Mm.
We vote from a place of fear. Back it on
wow.
up, back it on up, back it on up, back it on up. We operate from a place of fear. And hence, we have us fighting each other about who we should vote for. And we do this every, I guess, 4 years. What is it, 4 years? And go ahead. I can't hear you.
I muted my mic. So yeah, 2 years sometimes. You know, when some people, the mayors are going to come up soon, or they're legislative senators. So every 2 years, there's some type of dissension out here, and I think that is by design.
Yeah, and then we get upset and we call people stupid who want to go with a third party candidates. I mean, to some degree, I get it. It's like, and sometimes we try to make people look stupid because they're saying, I'm going to go with a third party candidate. I mean, like, Queen, I think you even was getting on somebody about a third party. Oh, they're not going to win. I mean, like, go ahead. They're not going to win. I mean,
well, the system is not set. So you're going to understand that this is not a new system. I mean, when they give other people's a place or space in the, I would say, the chaos, it's only to satisfy others. But it's only one of the two going to win, and they're chosen. And whoever's chosen will win. It is what it is. Keep voting.
I'm disillusioned, though. And what I mean by that is, I understand, again, as I've been talking about over the various weeks, why people will want a Kamala to win.
I understand that too.
I also understand why people are. I even understand why, to some degree, although a very perplexing degree, why they would want a Trump to win. On the other hand, well, no, not even perplexing when it comes to white poor people. I understand why they want to vote for Trump.
But a lot of black men, a lot of black people like Trump. We want to make it a white and a black issue, white and poor.
It
Listen,
is.
it's white rich like Trump, it's white poor, it's black rich, black
Mm-hmm.
poor. We all like him.
You said we all like him.
Yeah, listen, look at what's
Do,
going on. He
do
has the
you
ability
do
to.
you like him?
Uh, I like no, of course
You
not. I
said
don't like him.
we all like him. You said.
When I say colors, I said you said we always want to a lot of people I hear say white poor or people who who are
Well,
not rich. Everyone likes Trump, just like
but
everyone likes
when
Kamala.
we speak about social issues, we speak about the majority.
True.
We're speaking about who is his. How do they put that? What's the word they say?
I think
Who's
it's
his
not
who
the white poor. I
who is
think
his
it's the
base?
white rich. I think it's the white affluent, and the white affluent is very stealthy
Well,
in this
so
country.
where do you get that from?
I'm not get. You said we said think.
I
I
mean,
said I think
not,
it's.
well, again, where do you get that from? What
Well,
forms
when I'm
those
saying
thoughts?
that, it's because okay, of course, the rich, the Uber and the super rich love him because of his policies and his tax
Mm-hmm,
cuts.
mm-hmm,
And then when you look at the wealth distribution of this country, it is disputed. It is distributed more in the European and majority white. So
mm-hmm.
they have a stake in him winning too because of his policies. So
Right.
then again, them. And then you have the racial, he's a bigot. So then you have more than a handful of other Europeans because the ones who say, I'm not a racist, I don't have a racist bone in my body, I don't see color, all of those folks, all
Yeah.
of the bigots like him too.
Yeah.
And then you have white folks who just are only going to deal with white people. They've been doing it forever, but when other people do it, it's a problem. So then you have them. So then we have a lot of white people here. And then you have the white poor.
And you
And
think
then
that's
you have
also
black men who are Trumpers, huh?
and women, right? Since you say all
And
everybody,
women. And
so
women. So I
but
think he has just like Hirsch, he has a very healthy palette of voters.
he need
Don't
those.
get it twisted because he's an idiot.
But I assume, but I would, and I'm no expert, but from what what I see and what I've seen, his base are those middle American type white folk,
Hmm. That's where his
and
rallies are.
the uber rich are not enough. They're not. There's not enough uber rich people to help you win a campaign.
Exactly. But I said uber rich, but also the wealth distribution of more wealthy people in this country, the people who have a little bit of scratch.
Yeah,
They like Trumpy too.
most people in this country is not wealthy
I'm not saying that. We said of the
though. So,
whites.
I'm going back to why he needs to deal with the middle American folk, and why Kamala keeps saying, "I was middle class." Like she keeps talking about her middle class upbringing.
Yeah, I think that it resonates in a way because people, I think, feel that more than they would feel with Trump is like this lady is not coming from no cash.
You know what's
It doesn't
crazy
make me
though?
feel better. She's been around cash for a long time. So,
But
it don't take long to change you when you get money and power.
but for me and the people I know, not necessarily. I mean, like the middle class. What is that?
Thank
Like,
you.
I mean,
What the heck is the middle class?
I mean, most people I know. I mean, a lot of people I know don't quote unquote fall in that middle class. I'm not saying. Let me put it like this. In some ways, they can. But what about the poor people?
Unfortunately, poor are looked over. All poor people are. Poor people
Some
just
people say the
ride.
middle. Some people say
They
the
ride
middle are.
along.
Some people say
Hmm?
the middle are. Many people say the middle are, and that's what they're fighting. That's why they're fighting, and that's why they're trying to appease those who are in the middle because the middle often feel like they're looked over. Highest taxes, the less programs to help them. The rich get the benefits, and the quote unquote poor get the benefits. But again, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I understand why people want Kamala to win. I understand why people want Trump to lose. I understand why people want Cornell to win, or Claudia, what's her name, Dela Cruz, something like that,
Her neither. Or Jill Stein. None of them.
or Jill Stein. You know,
Her
I mean,
neither.
I'm going to say it like
Stein.
this: like again, as I said last week, in my imagination, I will. People are gonna be mad at me, but I would. I would like to see Cornell up in there. I think it would be funny and fun and interesting and very jazzy. I like to see what he would do. But I mean,
I would like to see him debate with them, but I understand that they cannot allow third parties to gain any traction. So they're going to suppress him and all of his buddies, the Green Party, the Red Party, the Orange Party, all those little, the Blossom Party, all of them. None of them are going to get on stage because the system cannot control everything without just putting two in front of us. And not going to put 3, 4, 5 in front of us.
So my problem with it is I'm so disillusioned and so apathetic to a point today, at least. My energy is not I'm not feeling either one of them, to be honest with
you. Touche.
And when she started speaking about, I swear, the more I hear her speak about what's going on in Israel, it disturbs me.
It's disturbing.
And I think that's part of what it is. I think her response as it relates to Israel and how she forms that in such a double Dutch way, and just how when I see the debate, I saw a bunch of tap dancing and eluding real issues. I didn't see, and then she speaks about this opportunities. What is it? Opportunity society.
Economy.
Economy. Thank you. See, I told you remember. What the heck? I want to know what an opportunity economy is.
That's you getting an opportunity to be in the economy, to get some things from the economy, to be able to
tell me more.
Grow in the economy. The opportunity is more sounds to me for growth in the economy. She's giving this, she's giving that. So 50,000 to buy a house, 25,000 for this,
25,000 for a house,
and
then you have to be
50 for a small business.
And then what do you have to do to qualify for that?
You have to be a first-time home buyer for the 25. And for the small businesses, have to be, you have to start a small business.
So I don't get my 25.
Nah, bro, you already did the damn thing. Nope.
So
nah,
I don't get 25.
Nah,
there's no way
don't.
There's no way I can finagle it.
You start another business.
What's this business thing? Tell me more about that.
Well,
you have $50,000 to start a business.
Well, you know what I haven't seen, and I haven't looked at her plan, so I'm not sure what are the requirements to get the money. But this is not something that is particularly policy. This is her running her mouth. I don't believe none of that.
So what about her? What about her response to Trump calling? I can't lie that I think it was a brilliant response, but it's still I feel some kind of way about it, and it does kind of support some people's feelings, like when she doesn't literally just outright say I'm black.
But what I don't understand with us is,
go ahead.
Why is it so important for someone to say they're black? That's not real. We are so grounded in something someone created that's not real.
Because she's running on it.
She might be running on it. That means, these are all liars. Politicians are liars.
But that's not. But look, you see
she's a liar.
You see it.
I do.
But people who believe in them don't see it that way. They believe that Kamala's going to save the day.
What day? Tuesday, Monday, which day?
Black people and reparations.
Whatever. Whatever. Listen, we have to get real about what's in front of us. If no one's going to repair us.
What's in front of us?
To expect this government that continues to oppress you to come along and now repair you and give you cash and help you and value your life as you see they devalue your life daily, your children's life daily. You expect them now to set aside policy for your community. When that it's not happening. And if it does happen, it's going to be where we're going to spend money right back into the capitalistic system. So if it is in some way given to us, that we're going to find a way to siphon it out of us.
So why not give your energy to promoting the third party candidate?
Because they're not going to be president.
No, I mean, at some point, if enough of us decide that enough is enough, then we'll get closer to that.
I think that if as a whole, as the people, because we have the power, I think if the people say enough, and we had enough strategium, we can move some mountains, but we're too spoiled. We love the cars, we love the eateries, we love the money, we love their jobs, we love their benefits. We're not leaving the system. You cannot be coddled through revolution. Revolution is sacrifice. We're too coddled. We're Americans, baby, and we want everything Daddy set forth for us. Daddy likes it, and we like it too.
Is that what you want?
That's not what I want. That's what we see.
I'm talking about, what do you want?
What I would like to see, truthfully, is that we really galvanize as a community, sacrifice some of these things that we like and hold dear to us. Everything. We have to question everything, from Christianity to the school system. When we question and we actually look at this system and we say enough, and we create and create another structure. But to create that, you might can't go to work for a month. You might can't eat at Chipotle. You know, you might can't drive your Benz. You know what I'm saying?
You have to get your keys back.
You're gonna have to sacrifice if you want change for the next generation. The slaves had to sacrifice. Everyone has to make a sacrifice. So we're not going to make those type, because we live in a very technical system.
So
we don't live in a very industrial system. So you got to deal with that money, that digital money.
So what are you saying? Start something new.
I'm saying
because all I mean is I'm not. I'm here.
I'm not saying start something new. I said you unite within yourself.
So just give up your comfort creatures for what though?
And to be strategic about your moves. And then if you're going to deal with this political system, you have to cultivate your leaders. They can't go through this whole system and then pop up and be black and Kamala, and that's how Obama, and that's how, because they're black. No, we have to cultivate them from the beginning. They have to have some type of connection to our community. Huh?
Who won the debate from your perspective?
Who won the debate? Of course she won. Listen. What is so scary to me is that America will allow such mediocrity. How could a Donald Trump even be there? He's not articulate. He's old. And old really doesn't. I don't have a problem with old if it had wisdom. He has no wisdom. Okay. He is angry. He's disgruntled. He has no control of his mind, he can't control his mouth or his actions. And for us to allow that person to be a candidate in this country, and for us to spend 90 minutes to watch his foolery and his buffoonery, tells me the level of intellect in this country. And these Europeans, they could say whatever, but if this is your candidate, this is what you set for the world to see, then we need to look at ourselves, because he is a complete, if you didn't see it last night, he's a complete idiot. And for us to be able him to still be in the running, they're neck and neck. Something is wrong with this country. It's the truth. It is no way that such mediocrity, such foolishness that I saw on Tuesday could even have a chance to even be a teacher, let alone a president. I just don't even understand how it could even be. And if that can be, something's wrong with us.
Yeah, it can be pretty frustrating, because when I see people actually articulating their thoughts about this, and I understand why we do this, there's a lot of people who are heavily critiquing Kamala in some of our circles. Then there's people that's heavily get not critiquing her. You know, so it's kind of like in our community, what you really hear is the fight for or against Kamala. You don't really hear much about Trump, right? But it's really like this fight for or against Kamala. And,
that's so true.
And it's like, and I understand why, but it's like, can we just be real with it though? Like, it's like people overly critique her or they just don't critique her at all. Like, I think that just goes back to what I'm saying. We operate from a place of fear and delusion. I mean, we're deluded. Like, I mean, I believe, as I said last show, that Kamala can probably make some things. She can make oppression a little bit more easy to deal with.
Yeah, should make it manageable, but it's still gonna be oppression, guys.
You know, she could help. You know, us feel a little bit more happy with oppression, genocide, all types of sides, exactly. and all types of isms.
All the isms, yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, there's a piece of me is like, you know, maybe she's just doing this to get in the place to be. You know, and I understand why people would think like that. But man, oh man, Kamala will double dutch and say one thing 1 second and never answer why she truly changed her opinion. Now, of course, she's trying to get in the White House, so she's going to ignore certain real questions. And this whole idea about fracking and all these other things that she just goes back on. Like, she, to me, if I had to really critique her, and it's all about winning the game. The problem is people say, well, she's going to have to do this to get in there. The problem I have is we say that, and when the people get in, they still don't do a thing.
Huh.
So it's like,
let's talk about it.
So it's
what
like,
politician does what they say when they're running?
I mean, I'm not going to say there's not one, but I'm specifically when we talk about these presidential candidates that we hire, we get up in these places.
Well, they all say they're going to unite America. It never happens.
Yeah, on a local level. Oh, yeah, that's an ideal.
Never.
That's an ideal. There's no way to unite people and still get in there. How about that?
I agree.
It's like it has to be. You have to be oppositional to get in the White House.
Wow.
There's not a unifying thing. You know, you have to be taught. You have to. It's like a great contention to get elected. Like, the whole thing is around debate. I mean, I remember the first debate.
Competition and chaos. That's what America works in.
Absolutely. And
competing and chaotic. That's how we roll.
I remember the first debates that I was looking at was like that I can recall. Probably can recall some earlier, but that stood out to me was the Bill Clinton era, when he was giving people that work.
He could debate, that's for sure.
You know, but what does that amount to?
Nothing. He was trash. I mean, same stuff. Listen, we act like we're looking at something new. This is nothing new. And guys, the link is in the chat. Come in here, and because I don't see we're not having a lot of comments tonight, brother DAW. I don't know what's going on with our black boxes tonight.
I think the people are apathetic.
Oh, is it the game? Oh, is this NFL Thursday? Oh Lord.
Is there a game today?
I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
I mean, there's people.
But that don't have nothing to do with what we're doing.
I mean, there's people in here.
We got our peoples, but I just want these guys to start hitting the chat. And listen, if you want to come in with us, we would love to have you. This is a safe space. We want to hear your opinion. Come sit in the box.
Because I know nothing. I'm just trying to figure it out.
We're trying to figure it out. I mean, what we did see was mediocrity. You know what I do want to say when I say about mediocrity, because we know Trump, we've seen a cadre of mediocre, especially white men. I will say that. In power positions. This is nothing new in America. But what I will say is when someone Black is present, they have to be extra educated. They have to be extra articulated. They have to be extra assimilated. And so when you see a Barack Obama, he's a pedigree. He went to all of the King schools. He can speak very well, lawyer, all the things. You look at Sister Kamala, same thing. She wins. She's done very well. Attorney General, state's attorney. She's done it all. They go through the system and they become, I would say, more institutionalized. White. And so these are the folks who are escalated, and we see it right in front of our eyes. But then we see their candidates. These are mediocre people. But Biden, to me, is not something that is better than, say, a Trump, then is better than McConnell. These are all mediocre men. I look at Rubio, mediocre. Where are these very educated, very articulated European candidates? I don't see them. But when a Black person is running, they have to be over articulated, and that's an over educated, and they have to feel comfortable with them. And so this is what we're seeing. So we see on one side, I mean, almost idiocy. And then we see someone who's very presidential. If she speaks and when she talks to people, she's very, you feel like, listen, she got it together. That's what we're seeing. Same thing with Obama when he was running and he was debating. Same thing. And so this is no new. They keep running the same cars, and we keep going to buy the leases. But it's all going to come out to Black folks are not going to be liberated from what we see. That's what I think.
So Black people, you say, have to be more articulate.
Of course. Look at it. Just look at what we saw on Tuesday.
I just wanted to say that because you kept saying articulated.
Yes, there is a football game. Brother Kev said there's a football game tonight.
You be rhyming up in here.
Yeah, I had to put my bars in there.
And educated.
And I said assimilated.
And assimilated.
Yes, sir. We got to put them bars in there. So there is a football game tonight, but listen, we fly it in the game. How about that? So yeah, come in the chat, guys. Come in, get in the chat, pick up that link, and come see us, please. So that's what I see about the candidates.
Queen saying, please, y'all.
Please.
Don't disappoint.
Yeah, y'all come see us, please.
Yeah. So when I think
everybody's scared to sit with you, DAW. They think that you're gonna come for them.
You know, I was talking to my good brother. I was talking to my good brother earlier, and he had a nerve to say we was talking about why some people stay out of my way, and I was and he's gonna mention some aggression. I said aggression. What? Talking about some of these shows I've been on with people.
Yeah, you get a little aggressive. I don't hear though. It's all love for you today.
Today I'm
tired.
I'm tired, so you know,
I can see it. So okay. So my thing is, are we ever going to be able to break this thing we're in? We have problems, I think, with the voting. Even though we're voting, we said people die for us to vote, but I don't know if they died for the Electoral College. I don't know if they died for Trumpy and his boys, because they put people on the court. They're gerrymandering. I don't know if people died for gerrymandering. I don't know if people have died for the amount of attacks and that's going on in this presidential race, any race that we're in. So when I hear Black folks say, "Oh, people died for you to vote," I don't know if they died for this.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I mean, I just struggle when I'm hearing you say it. I definitely struggle with people like Roland Martin.
Who?
I do. I mean,
did you bring Roland up here?
I mean, it's cool. Like, I think Roland is, you know, he had some years in, and he knows some things, but I don't see how a person can have no critique of the candidates that they want to win. Like he can make every. I mean, I know how people do it, but I feel like they're delusional and they're lying. I feel like they're not being honest. If they're not being honest with themselves, they're definitely not. If they think they're being honest with us, they're definitely not being honest with themselves. Because, like, are you serious? And then I heard Dr. Carr, and at least he was like, he said, well, she said what she had to say when it came to Israel. She did an okay job, and she did an okay job, he said, but he said he just called it interesting.
but what they're saying about Israel isn't true. And if you don't understand, it's just not true. October 7th was a culmination of a lot of oppression that Israel has done towards the Palestinians. How many people have they killed prior to October 7th? This notion that all of a sudden the Palestinians just, or Hamas, excuse me, all of a sudden Hamas just said, I'm going to blow up some college students. I'm going to blow up 1,200 people or 2,000 people, whoever they killed, which was unfortunate. I don't want anybody to lose their lives, is a lie. Israel is an oppressor. Let's be clear. That's what's been happening. They've been oppressing these people. What do you think?
They took these people's land and all that. Never been a part of this conversation that she has.
Thank you. When you stay on somebody's neck, do you not expect for them to get up fighting? I don't understand. I'm not against Israel. I'm not against Palestine. What I'm saying is, when you oppress people, there will be a reaction. Oppression, there's a reaction. And that was a reaction. So what happened before October 7th? Have anyone looked at Gaza and how it's controlled by who? Israel.
So when you look at
careful.
When I hear some people say, well, this is one settler colonizer protecting another.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's not
the same behaviors. We see the same behaviors of these American Europeans is these Eastern European that's in Gaza, that's in Israel.
Yeah, it's not even American European if Kamala is a part of that, or Obama is a part of that. The aristocracy of America.
I told you. You said that when they go to school, they get more what? White.
Well, you said European.
They're European.
I'm saying white and European is different. But white is a construct.
Yeah.
That means that you are greater, you are better, you are superior. That
you're pure.
You are pure. You are a colonizer. You are privileged.
You're racist.
You're all of that. And I mean, when I think about it, like, for people to be able to get in these spaces, we have to really keep it real. And I'm sorry for y'all who might be disappointed tonight. I taught at a white university for 2 years, and I'm like, damn, you gotta do a lot of work to be around white people.
I'm gonna sit back and let you preach.
You gotta do a lot of work to be around white people, especially those in these particular positions. I think that it was one of the greatest experiences because I got to learn how they operate and how oppressive it is, and how microaggressions exist and all these type of things. But why am I bringing it up here? I'm bringing it up here. I mean, and I've had other experiences with them throughout my life, but this one was quite different. And I'm saying that you have to deal with a lot, and you have to do a lot of bending and a lot of contorting and folding, twisting and turning and really not being real to get in certain spaces.
That's so true.
And
so imagine how contorted Kamala is.
I
She's
am not.
stretched out.
That is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I am not sure how one gets to certain spaces and not be touched by that bug. I'm not talking about our local level politicians. That's not that much. I mean, I might go.
And they're contorting too. Believe that. But definitely,
there is some contorting, definitely.
Yep. Yep.
But you have to really, if you know, you can be more blacker when you're a lower level politician.
Of course.
The higher you go up, the less black you become.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by black, I mean this is just looked at in the way of saying a more liberatory. And when I say white, I'm saying oppressive. And it does have not to do. It doesn't specifically has anything to do with, in this particular context, the way that people look phenotypically.
Man, you said a lot.
You wanted me to come on today, and I told you I'm tired, so I guess I'm feeling it too, and I'm also thinking about how our people are suffering too. When I talk about Israel, I'm just thinking about them as another oppressed people. But I'm in Baltimore, and I can see the oppression here really real.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I can't, I can't act like I don't see that, and I can't act like nobody's even speaking to their plight. That's why earlier I said, so who's talking about the poor? Who's talking about the oppressed of the oppressed?
And a lot of the poor that won't even have time because they work so much to vote.
She want to double down and be the border police. I agree with some of the analysis I heard. This wasn't a left and a right debate. This was the right versus the center. A right centrist versus a far right.
Yeah.
In
fact, she's very center. She's
the
very
debate
center.
was who can be more far right. Who can uphold the borders better. Who we're going to support I am going to support Israel. She literally said, I forgot how she said it, but it did something to me.
But any candidate, I don't care if it's Trumpy, I don't care if it's Obama, I don't care if it's Larry from Park Heights, I don't care who it is. If you sit in that seat, if you sit in that seat, you're going to support Israel. Let's be clear.
Well,
so,
she's
only a person.
But you know what she has to do, to be honest and to be fair to some degree. I think to all degrees. That's you're right. But at the same time, is that a way, as we know, we're speaking to this again. Let me put this back in context for myself. These presidents no liberation is coming through them.
Yep.
But the fact is, it's not even about me. It's about the people who believe in these folks. And many of us, we are deluded. And those are and we talk about white people voting against their own interests. But are we voting for our interests?
You better say it.
I mean, literally, our people are struggling. I'm talking about our people are really struggling. And when I hear people not talk about poor people and working people get thrown in there every now and again, but when I hear middle, to black people, middle class is mean you made it. I'm
telling you, if we can get the middle class, we rich.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So it's so what are we talking about? We're talking about she's a middle class person, and I'm not. And both her parents are,
they're both professors.
Very educated folk.
Very educated, yes.
You know what I mean? Very accomplished folks. I'm not saying,
and those are not a house of the middle class. Those are usually not houses of the middle class where you have all of this education, all of this access, this ability to, most impoverished people don't have all of this education that
they don't.
They don't. So when she tell me middle class, I'm like, what type of middle class was you, mama?
we did a video on this
Work with
idea
me.
whether she's black, right? And I don't want people confused whether or not I believe she's black
I think she's black.
with the fact that is she quite the same as what people say they not like us. They not like us. I don't want you to think that I don't see the difference, but I don't think I see the difference in an important way, the same way that people are articulating it. People are articulating it in a way that, oh, because her father's from Jamaica and her mother's from India. To me, that is not a major issue. But
yeah, that doesn't matter.
The way that where she is now, and how she exists in this world, I don't quite believe that she, let me not say that. I don't know what I don't know what's going on in this lady's mind. Let me just be
What I would say is most black women are not existing in her shoes. I'm one. And it's very clear that I don't have the type of access that Kamala has, or that I'm not as educated as she is neither. But what I will say is the circles that she walk in, I'm not walking in. So most black women who feel so attached to her are not her. They're not in her circles. They're not doing the things she does. She's married a Jewish guy, so I don't expect her to go far from Israel. That's first. She's married to a Jewish man.
But you do know Jewish people are also some of the greatest people who are in defense of Palestinians.
Listen, I don't know about all of that.
They have they
can't be in defense when you're oppressing people.
Well, no, what I'm saying is there's a distinct difference between what people are calling Zionists and just being Jewish. Because you have black Jewish people that are totally against that. You have quote unquote white Jewish people that are totally against what's going on in Palestine. And against what their
because Jewish is not a race; it is a religion.
I was listening to a Jewish person. I think it was
remember that
Mark Lamont. But it becomes anything they want it to be on the day that they want to make it. So it becomes race, it becomes heritage, it becomes ethnicity, it becomes all those things, depending on how you want to use it and leverage it. To be honest with you, these terms in general, social terms are very fluid and they move around, and
Yeah, so you're right. Not all Jews, I think, hate Palestinians. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying on the core issue of Israel and us being in support of them, she's married to a Jewish guy. Listen.
But I'm not sure whether or not he is one of those Jewish people who support what's going on in Israel.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that even though Jewish people may not hate Palestine, the Jewish people, Israel is oppressing Palestinians. They have for years and years and years over. You might not like it, but you're not doing nothing about it because it's happening. And it has happened.
So there's Zionists who believe that they, in that right, that there's land, that's their land, and they are obligated to it, and all these type of things, from my understanding.
Yes.
But there's people, even in Israel, just to kind of flesh it out a little bit more. There are people who are protesting in Israel that are also Jewish people. I'm talking about people that are against what their people are doing.
Yeah, the occupation. And we see that in America. It's people who don't want to see black children die in the streets, but they still go to work and move forward, and they're white. Oppression goes forward even if you don't like it. So, you can protest, but if children are dying at enormous numbers, you've destroyed people's livelihood, you destroyed their legacy, you've taken their homes, but you said, oh, I don't like it, let me protest. Is that enough?
Well, I'm not saying that that's the extent of what they're doing either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm saying that just like even here, I do agree with you that there's, especially not here in America, is there enough people have done the thing, but we cannot exclude that there are people who have been identified as white, who literally died for us. Or died for our people. Just like there's so just like there's people all across this globe that could be identified as white that did also fight on behalf of liberation. Now they have been identified as white.
Mm-hmm. And I agree with that. But
Yeah,
again, unfortunately, we see these systems go forward, even though folks say, "I don't like them. I think they're this. I think they're that." But it's not changing the game.
well, that
Eh,
the system is bigger than one person
Well,
or any one group of people.
true, it
And
is.
the system is self correcting, and that's what I think we have in these debates against who, the Democrat or the Republican.
Well, it seems to me that you have a problem with the Israel piece, because that's what I keep hearing you talking about.
Well, no, I have a problem with oppression.
Oppression. I understand that. And
So
so,
so
but
I have
both of those candidates that stood in front of us on Tuesday, crazy. Well, I'm not going to call them crazy. Trumpy and Mala, they're both going to support Israel.
well,
So if that
no,
is your problem, nobody's voting
no. It's not about
because
even this.
Trump's going to do the same thing she's going
It's
to do.
not just about Israel. It's about Africa. It's about Baltimore. It's about all this stuff that's already been going on.
Yeah.
And it's not about them. It's about our people believing in them, and that is heartbreaking. Now,
Mm.
if people thought that and they knew truly the extent and really were voting consciously, I don't think people are voting consciously. And people like a Roland Martin and many other of our Democratic pundits are acting like God, Jesus Christ, has landed and has come to save the earth.
Oh, for
And
Kamala?
any Democrat, it'd be Biden last week.
Yep.
You can't do anything wrong. Like I'm not even expecting people to be perfect, but at least let's call out everything on both sides. You know, I mean, I can get with you if you say, well, I think Kamala is the best for the people right now. But when you go to the extent that you can't critique one thing she or he or all the Kamalas before her, that right there is problematic with me, because obviously you're either paid for, you're lying, or you're blind, or something, a mixture of all of those things and some other things. You know, and then you have our people listening to these people that can't have one criticism about this Democratic Party. We got plenty of criticism about the Republican Party. I get why people saying, I got plenty of criticism of the Republican Party, and that's typically, and to some degree, I've been criticizing the Republican Party more because a lot of the people in our community circles and spheres typically focus on the Democratic Party. But I think that we need to focus on both. And I'm not going to say again, as I said last week, they're not the same. One is a lot more pleasant to deal with in some ways. It's like you get some sugar with your poison, and the other one is just you get poison without sugar. You know, and one, you might live a little longer, you might get a little extra service. I'm not going to deny that. So I mean, so slaves get to live longer. That's more profit for the enslaver. You know, some of the slavery is like, it's like saying, well, slavery in the islands when people didn't live long versus slavery here when they took care of you to make you live long so they can get more profit. So either way, it's about profit. It's about exploitation. It's about oppression. It's about that bottom line. It's about
it's about capitalism that hasn't changed.
The 1% or whatever they call them, right?
The capitalist movement hasn't changed, buddy.
And when I see
we even still doing it,
how can in America can a city like Baltimore be?
We still doing it. We still working. We've been exploited in certain ways. They give us benefits. They make us feel as if we're now we have access. We now can take care of our families, which we can't. And when we do get a little money, they have the ability to change, to put in inflation, have the ability to gouge prices. So it's still a part of export. It's a lot of exploitation still going on. It's a little. The slavery thing hasn't ended. It's just changed to modernize what I would say a workforce, and a workforce is what slavery was.
And then
to me.
We're frustrated with a. And I'm not saying this guy doesn't have some stuff in his record, because he does. Like any third party candidate, let me just say that. We're frustrated with them because we believe that they are starting problems. We believe that they're getting in the way. So now we start beating up on them. And to be honest with you, for most of us, their politics are probably closer to our own. But as we don't believe that they have an opportunity to win, then we call them stupid, and we call people stupid who vote for them and all of that type of thing. But I think we need to stop that. I think that at the end of the day, we should, just like I told you how I can understand somebody will vote for Kamala, I can understand how somebody will vote for Cornel West, Jill Stein, and what's her name, Dela Cruz. I think that's her last name. And how somebody would even vote for Trump, although that is the most sickening and most in-your-face form of racism, oppression, bigotry, and ignorance. But there's a space in the table for all minds on an oppressed society that gravitate toward him as well. So I can understand why we fall for all the different, and we have all these different positions. I can't beat up on people who want to vote for Cornell, although I in my mind, I don't. It's no possibility. I even to some degree, just to be honest, to me, it would be a struggle of like when you look at Kamala. My greatest critique for Kamala is that she flip-flop and she don't even do it good. She don't even do it good. She just flip-flop. Trump, he's a clown. Let me just say that. He's a character. He's a clown.
But only in America can a Donald Trump even be in a debate, to have the amount of money that is being allocated so he could travel the country and do this foolishness he's doing.
I don't know.
Only in America this minion can do what he's doing. I just cannot understand how his mediocrity can be escalated.
I don't know if it's only in America. I think people operate from fear-based societies. They choose people they believe is going to protect them. People feel like Trump tells people, we don't understand that the things that Trump says out of his mouth help people feel safe. Trump said,
I'm saying like, well,
we think Trump is a gangster. Like, you gotta keep it 100.
He's a gangster.
People think that Trump is a gangster. They think that Trump said Kim Jong-un, I'll handle him. Whatever. He said, look, this war, what people believe it. They think he's a savvy businessman. They think that he's corrupt. So they think that he's going to be corrupt with the corrupt governments. People think Kamala is soft, and he's painting this picture that she's soft. You also got to understand, we're in a very patriarchal society where men believe that women shouldn't even be in positions in the first place, not including black men.
Yeah, they should shut up.
Yeah, especially, and you know what's crazy? Sometimes
that's a lot of his votes. Men are sick of women like her.
And some of these black men, are coming from a place of oppression. They're feeling oppressed. Like they don't have no real power over their women. Keep it a buck. They don't have no power. That's why they so stressed out, because they feel so oppressed. Now they want to, they feel threatened by a quote unquote black woman being in some form of power.
Unfortunately.
I don't even care. I'm not even talking about Kamala. I'm talking about the job around the corner. I'm talking about the one you belong to. I'm talking about all these different places. Yeah, I'm talking about the grocery store. I'm talking about Social Security. I'm talking about, but I'm not beating up my brothers who are afraid like that. But I'm just saying that I understand it in the oppressed society. You have the oppressed fight the oppressed. This is what I shared with my class last year. The oppressed fight the oppressed, and then that leads to understanding why we would want Kamala to be in the White House for various reasons. She looks like us. She's also a woman, and this is a very patriarchal society, and so she's a double win for oppressed groups, quote unquote, if you're using an intersectional lens, which I have very much critique for. True. I think there's some strengths, but Kamala becomes maybe more than maybe two or three intersections type of win. She's biracial, quote unquote. She's also Black. She's Indian ethnic, quote, by origin. She's a woman, and she went to a HBCU. She's
an AKA, all that.
The AKA, so she's all these things, which I know Howard is out of school. They don't respect Howard. Come on, they don't respect Howard. They don't respect HBCUs. We respect HBCUs to some.
We respect them, of course, but no one does. And Howard is named after a white man.
But with that or not, look at how much of a win that would be for our morale.
I don't know.
I said morale. I'm talking about just feeling good. I mean, let's say
if keeping 100, I would love to see her in that space, but I don't have any prerequisites that she's going to do anything for African people, for Black people. But I would love to see her there because I think Trump is an idiot.
If she gets there, guess what? Inside of my mind, I'm going to be like, I hope she comes out and becomes gangster.
I agree too. I disagree with morale. I'm with my sister right here. I disagree with morale because ain't nobody feeling good because she's gonna be president. I would like to see.
Hold on. Now, since y'all want that tag team and you want to pick up a weak post, it will definitely boost the people's morale. You telling me that when Obama was in that White House, that Black people wasn't floating on Clyde 9, although he was dropping bombs as much as anybody other president in the world. We was walking around. Morale was high. I was trying to give it to you, but I'm just saying. Look up the word morale. Look up the word morale, and then let's have a debate. I'm tired, but don't come for me tonight, y'all. Hotel, what up, Hotel California? Look, you coming in the door just to agree. Look, I welcome.
You know
back.
How she do.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh Lord. You aging yourself singing "Welcome Back" harder, bro.
Who is "Welcome Back" harder?
I don't know. That was an old TV show years ago.
I'm thinking about Biggie. Something about it sounded like a song Biggie and.
Was it? He might have sampled that. I'm not sure. But listen, link is in the chat, guys. For you too, Miss Hotel California. Come on in here. But
hotel ain't coming.
I know. We want to see you because you're in California. We would love to see you. But anyway. I don't like any of these candidates. I'm not, but I would keep it 100. I would love to see Kamala in that space just for she looks like she has the ability to do the job. What I saw at this debate is Trumpy doesn't even have the ability to put a sentence that makes sense together.
She looked like she has the ability to do the job.
He is so unprepared and so uncontrolled and so mediocre that it's almost laughable that people would support such foolery. That's all I have to say, because I know what if Obama or Kamala had any of his traits, was talking about eating immigrants. First of all, they would not have made it to where they are anyway. They have to be super special to even make it. But for him to even be there says something about America. If you allow something that's so ignorant in that space, it's scary.
super special.
It's just really, it's actually scary to me, and I don't know why no one's saying that. Like, how can this person even be a candidate for anything? Not even dog catcher.
But I always disagree with people who say that. I
He's
mean,
horrible.
no. What I mean is, we always say stuff like, "Why is nobody saying that?" Like we're the only people who said that. No, a lot of people are saying.
No,
that.
I'm talking about on national media. This I've never heard someone say we should be ashamed as a nation
You're
to
telling
have
me
him as a candidate.
Are you telling me you
I
think
hardly
that
ever hear that.
if you go to Roland Martin's show,
Roland to me is not national media. Roland is
and
media, social media,
or MSNBC?
No, I don't. I have not heard them say that on a nominal basis all the time. Like, why is he even a candidate? No, I haven't.
Well, you all the time is moving the goalposts, but believe
me, they do not question these systems.
No,
I don't hear it.
People they make a mockery of what Trump has done and said, and definitely saying that. I'm saying we said never to sometimes they said. So to say a person never said anything is to mean that they never say it. But people have said it. You're not the first person that said it. Huh?
I'm not saying I'm the first people. I'm not saying I'm the first. What I'm saying is this is not a nominal conversation that we hear on all the time.
What do you mean
to question nominal? This a question that's here all the time. Like we say all the time, why is he even a candidate? Why does he even have the ability to stand in that building? He should not even be there. How?
Because the building itself is corrupt. Why would that be? Why would that be surprising though?
Well, most people don't think it's corrupt. They think this is a fair system.
I'm saying to a person as conscious as you and I, we know as a you have to almost be corrupt to be there.
Yeah.
If you made it through and you're not corrupt, you just did a good job.
But look what my sister said. She said, "Okay, Dr. Da, let you come out with 34 felonies and see what jobs you get." I agree, sis. You're not getting a job at McDonald's. And this brother is on stage.
What does that mean?
She's saying that 34 felonies, how you gonna get a job? And he's getting the biggest job.
What does that have to do with anything I'm saying though?
She's saying that no one says he's fit to be president.
Everybody talk about his felonies. Even
I'm
Kamala, even on that very stage, on the main stage, say he's unfit to be president. She called him a criminal. Joe Biden called him a criminal. To say that no one ever says it, they're saying it. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that he's a criminal. They want a criminal in the damn office.
I love it.
This is what they want.
We love what when you raise the voice.
They want criminals. This is what you have to understand. This country is very criminal.
We finally got it. That's what I wanted to see. You up now, buddy? Let's go, Doc.
I'm going back down now.
So no, stay right there. Stay right there.
Criminal.
Proper.
Our minds are very, very shaped by this criminal society. People don't care about people being criminal. Most of your people, you talk to people on an everyday basis, and you start thinking people have morals and values and all these type of things, and you start talking to them about a little bit closer, you'll start realizing even the people around you do not have the same level of moral, fervor as you do. They don't. I'm telling you, I talk to people all the time, and they think that something's wrong with me. Because I said, they'd be like, "Oh, you really don't do that? Oh, no, I really don't do that. No, you really don't cheat on your wife? Oh, no, I really don't cheat on my wife. You really don't smoke? Oh, no, I really don't smoke. Oh, you really don't do these things?" And then they start thinking I'm weird. This country, most people are faking. And when they find someone who's not faking, they think you're weird.
I told you, too clean for me. Dr. Daw's clean, y'all. It's a clean brother right here, for sure. But he's not weird. So listen, look what Proper said. He said 200 Republicans came out and said they are supporting Kamala. That alike speaks to their disgust at Trump as a candidate. You see what I hear? Even the comments still uplift the system. Like there's a difference between Republican and Democrat.
No, I think what he's saying is no.
I hear what he's saying. They come in on that side because he's so bad. I get it.
What he's actually also giving, I believe, support to what I'm saying.
Yes, he does. He is.
Hotel is saying you and Hotel on this thing that you know what
Proper.
I mean?
You're right, Proper. Pardon me. You are supporting what he said. Yes, two Republicans are on her side, but I don't know if that's going to help her when it comes to electoral college. That's what we're not talking about. That's what got old Hillary, old HC. That's what cut her up real good. She came with her tight suits on stage and she thought because she was popular, nah, it didn't work. So popular is not everything when they got these skewed systems they got here. So we got to talk about the electoral college.
Which ones, after they left out of the White House, you haven't found out about how many crimes they've done while they were in that office?
Say that again. Get that question again.
I'm sorry for being inarticulate because I'm tired. However, what I'm saying is, after presidents leave the White House and we get off of our moral highs that I'm suggesting we begin to be able to critique and look back at them. How many of those presidents that have gone before us, before the president we currently have, when we look back at their record, has come out of there without committing war crimes, crimes against humanity, crimes against people, all that type of thing?
Not one. They are criminals. Obama included. Yes, all of them. All of them. If you are the head of this country and you're pushing the buttons, you're pushing oppression, you're pushing gangery, you're pushing bullying, you're going to push. So all of them are criminals. Let's be clear. Brother Lamont said this country was founded on crime. I agree, Brother Dow.
Hotel said, don't do it. Don't try it, Dow.
He playing with you.
then she said all of them.
She said all of them.
Yeah.
And I agree. I do agree that everybody's criminals. So, but we expect for them not to be. Kamala, she's not a criminal.
I mean, I understand why.
I agree with that, Proper.
What's the part?
He said, well, because I said Hillary, she was popular and she went down. Hillary purposely ignored the swing states with large electoral college votes because she thought they were in the bag. Kamala better be careful. And she's black.
I'm not going to lie to
you. Or Indian.
Then when I look at
Jamaican.
Both. All the above. I can have this. I can have some things that I disagree with her about, but also still understand some certain things. Like, I can't lie and act like I don't think like, well, maybe she'll be touched. If she in there, I'll be honest. If she gets in there, in my mind, I'll be like, maybe something. Maybe she'll.
I think we got a better chance with her than with Trumpy. We ain't got no chance, baby, with him. I just don't think so.
Well,
now I don't like her. I don't like him, but out of those two, it's got to be her.
To get what?
I think we have a better chance to maybe get some concessions, concessions for all people, because it's never going to be just for black people. So just like Obamacare, you're able to get Obamacare out of Obama.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You're able to get a system that is helping black people, but also helping everybody else. We have better, you can get health care. So there are going to be things that I think that she would be more empathetic, and she would actually go to, especially women with this abortion thing. I think she would turn that around immediately. I think they're going to get worse with this abortion because they look at the demographics and they look at their numbers. They gotta roll with abortion all day long. So go ahead.
I think these conversations need to be a little bit more complex for the black community.
They need to be what?
A little bit more complex for the black community. I think sometimes these politics, these positions, these political positions are white leftist positions, or white liberal positions. Let me say it again. White liberal positions.
But we Democrats.
and then what we do is we kind of jump in on that. I think Black people is one of I heard one of my colleagues say the other day. I think we're a little bit more conservative than um, white liberals that we in these white liberal ideas and ideologies that come through these the Democratic machine. I don't think white people and Black people look at this whole abortion thing quite the same. I don't think, I don't think we having a real talk about that. My body.
We don't have baby making babies.
Say it again.
Yeah, I think we're not talking about it in such a because we don't have issues with making children, with having children.
Well, I also think that we have some value. We have values that don't necessarily always align with the way that some of these positions that are being promoted from the white liberal position.
What if one would say, why is it so white and black?
Because culturally, I'm speaking culturally, Black people are very religious and spiritual, and to abort a baby is a very. I bet you, if we had a real conversation in our community, that conversation would be a lot more complex than you're hearing with white women.
Yeah,
it would not be.
Yeah, I think we're not going to do too much of that. Yeah,
I
agree with that.
Have that conversation.
I don't think that conversation will be more or less we're going to have that baby.
Yeah, and then some hasn't, but it's some reasons why it didn't have that baby and all that type of things, and then we'll have to talk about the trauma that people have experienced and all types of things. So I think the conversation, I think you're agreeing that it'd be a more nuanced conversation if we really had that from the Black community.
Yes, I think abortion is not as heavy in our conversation. I think we do participate, but I don't think it's a heavy conversation as it is with these Europeans. And I think it all stems back to their ability to procreate on a level.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure
the color folk is.
I'm trying to figure out what are you saying? You keep saying it.
I'm saying that they do not want their young ladies aborting anything because they have to keep these numbers up, and they're not going to be able to. Genetics are showing, and the numbers are showing.
You saying this is they operate from a place of fear. You don't think
when have they not? You have to tell me they're not. One time they're not. If you could tell me when they're not, then I would believe you. But they always are operating out of fear. Everything in America operates from fear.
Well, think about it. They're split on this because the liberals, then you have white liberals, then you have white right wingers. They are split. They're like, it seems like they're dead set on this end or dead set on that end. Whereas I'm saying between these two white arguments, I think Black people will have a much more nuanced conversation that we are not bringing to the public. And not just that, I think we'll have more nuanced conversations about a lot of the identity politics in general.
Proper said most Black people are less inclined to support abortion, unfortunately.
And that's what I'm not sure. This
okay,
is what
Proper.
I'm saying. I'm not. I haven't really.
I kind of agree with that.
And this is what I'm saying, right? And I'm not sure if that where Proper's getting that from, but this is what I'm speaking to. You know, I don't have the, you know what I'm saying, on an anecdotal level, I know that it'll be more complex, and what Proper is saying sounds to be there sounds to be some relevance to that. I can't say I can cite any data at the moment, but that's why I'm saying that I definitely know that it'd be a more nuanced conversation, and we keep saying, what is it Wade versus what they keep saying?
Roe versus Wade.
Yeah, Roe versus Wade. Yeah, and no one's having a deeper conversation about these things. But I know in our communities, we are not even having the conversation. But I already know that our ideals, our values, the way we look
We
at the
don't
world,
rock with abortion. We're not
not
rocking with abortion.
not just because. There's reason. There's there's
There got to
reason.
be a reason, like
Yeah.
something chaotic happened or something catastrophic happened, or was a
Right.
abuse, something like that. But nothing. I just don't want to have a baby right now. We're not going for that.
And you might get it because of oppression and poverty, or you feel like it's some other reasons why too. Like, but all of it is a hard decision. Even if it's still a hard decision, even if you were just out having a good night. I mean, I work with women.
Agree.
And they numb themselves to go. They numb their mind to the fact that they have to abort this baby, even though they're trying to act like it doesn't really hurt them, but it does hurt them. I'm saying it's a very complex conversation, and I'm not saying that I'm quote unquote anti-abortion or anything. I just think that we need to have the real conversation in the Black community about all of these things, and not just follow these white liberal white talking points. And what does white have to do with that? I think that this is a great example of what I'm talking about. Our argument is a lot more nuanced. Just like these feminist arguments. When I say white feminism or feminism proper, their arguments were very much more different than
black feminists. Yes.
Well, yeah. So that's why I'm saying that when we're following in order with white liberals, many times they're not arguing our arguments, and many times
that's so true.
Black liberals are just repeating white liberals arguments, and that is what makes it to these.
So you saying abortion is more of that? They're repeating something is more of a white liberal conversation, but it's not something, because like Proper says, so some Black people will easily vote Republican in favor of abortion bans in spite of other issues being more relevant. I agree with him.
And that's why we have other people voting Republican. That's what I'm saying. So there's a mixed up thing going on here, and we look at things through a different prism. And that's why people are voting both ways, and we're calling people stupid, but some people we're very spiritual and religious, and some of these white right wingers, I'm calling them, they also tend to be very fundamentalist as pertains to some of these things. But yeah. So,
well, you know what Brother Lamar said, abortion wasn't really a Black thing until semi-recently. We used to just act like young mothers didn't have the baby and say that it was Big Mama's baby. That was a thing at one point.
well, absolutely, and that's what I'm saying. Whereas we thought that white women weren't having babies, but nobody asked them how many abortions they had. And I'm not, and I want to be very, and I'm not judging anybody who's had an abortion, because that's a very hard thing to do. I've worked with plenty of people as young as children, and I've seen and I'll be honest with you, if I have to keep it a buck, I've seen the impact on fathers who learned that they had a baby possibly on the way, and then the woman decided to abort the baby. Even if they made this decision together, how that still impacted them, the father as well. And I think that as African Black people, we make more familial community decisions, and to like, for example, I'm just saying, it would hurt me dearly to a great degree if my wife aborted a child. If I found out she was pregnant and she aborted the child and came back and told me that would hurt me. That would hurt me seriously. So,
wow.
I think
this is a whole nother conversation that we might need to have.
So when we look at things like this, I think we have to look at it a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more careful, and we have to consider all, because it's a very individualistic thing when we just repeat these talking points. And I get it. I'm not saying that anybody should be forced to do a thing, but I also think that we have to consider all parties involved. We have to consider, and before we take upon us to do certain acts, we have to consider the circumstances and and what the outcomes will possibly be. And we have to consider that people will be hurt, men and women. Men need to consider that if you are having sex, that you possibly going to impregnate her. Y'all need to have that discussion before y'all playing around in the first place. Because
you talk about people planning or talking before sex. Is that a thing?
Well, it has to be. Because
what is it going to be?
The outcome of sex is a baby.
All day.
An embryo.
Yeah.
That's the outcome. And when you find out that she aborted that child, how's that going to impact you?
Well, most people going in for pleasure. They're not looking at what is the outcome can be. The outcome for them is pleasure.
I'm not talking about one night stands. I'm talking about people who just having sex, but they're in a relationship. But even one night stands, people get, believe it or not, people get hurt by one night stands. I've seen women who are hurt because the man did not show any interest after the one night stands, and they decide to have the child, or they didn't have the child, and the man still was like, "Why didn't you have the child?" Like, although they just had a one night stand, so now they're hurt. And I'm saying we have to be more responsible with what we're doing here. But we need to have these conversations. We need to have the conversation that I'm not ready to have a child. If this happens, that this is what's going to happen. You know, people are asking people now to take. If you can ask somebody to go ahead and take a HIV test, and people are, why can't we have this conversation?
Because of, in the gross scheme of things, people, HIV is a bloodborne disease, so people don't want a disease. They'll take a baby,
but
they take abortion, but they don't want that disease, baby.
But that psychological disease can haunt you for the rest of your life.
You better know it. It can traumatize you.
And we're walking around here, and there's women walking around here and not really speaking to it. There's women walking around who definitely are blocking out their abortions, but is walking with them every day. They're hurt. It's not an easy thing to abort a child. I'm not saying morning after pill. I'm talking about some
the process.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a whole nother conversation when it comes to this this election we're in, because abortion is a big thing probably in most communities. But I think that choice has nothing to do. I think you should have the choice. I'm not saying you should have the choice that if this is something that you're not prepared for, if it's been abused and you got pregnant, whatever it is, there should be a choice, and it should not be something that's outlawed.
Now the problem becomes is that when Trump
women should have that choice.
So the problem becomes when Trump says, I do think there's a reason to have choice in these particular situations. And so I don't see, because I don't think he's saying no choice.
Well, if you outlaw it, that's no choice.
No, I don't. If what, I could be wrong, but I don't think at this point he is saying no choice. He's saying he's full of baloney anyway. Let me just let me put that on the table.
Let's keep it real.
Okay, but what I am saying, I don't believe nothing Trump said. I believe.
Well, they gave it to the states, and the states are run by legislators that are, we have red states like a Wisconsin that outlawed everything, even IVF. We have, so the state has the ability to outdo do the abortion thing. It's not that it's outlawed in the country. The state has the ability to stop it in their state.
Let me say.
I think it should be a federal policy.
Let me say on the individual level. I don't even know if the state needs to get in our business, right?
None of them should be in our business.
But what I am saying is, if the state isn't in our business, we need to have a community in our business. And that's probably what I'm saying. Because
Okay.
if I impregnate my wife, I got to keep it 100. And she decides to go and abort our child just because, that is going to hurt me on so many levels. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on with the state, and the state shouldn't be, all that type of thing. But I am saying, as a community, we need to think about everybody involved. This whole thing, my body, that's true. But in a functional community where people live, where people are married and people are in relationships, and all those other things, that is I think that we have to look at it in a more nuanced way.
I agree. I do. I think this conversation is that we've taken out of debate is a conversation that we should have about abortion. I think abortion is something that needs to be talked about, especially when it applicable to Black people in our community. Um, I don't think that it affects our numbers per se as demographically, but our traumatization. It's another piece to the trauma palette that we're adding, and we got to look at that also.
Yeah,
I love what Lamont says here. I tell my children and young people I mentor that there's no condom for your heart. Wow.
I like to know what he means by that.
Yeah, I would like Lamont. I would like you to expound on that one.
Lamont,
That's a serious one.
Lamont, you want to come in on here and talk about that?
I would love for you to. Listen. I don't put the link in the chat. We ain't
But,
getting no biters tonight. It's not fair, and we're almost out of here.
but you can put the link. We can put the link in there one more time.
One more time, Lamont, because that
wants
was
to-
a heavy one. You got to explain that to your sister and your brother.
But I think that, again, I'm not saying that women should be disrespected. Anybody should control women's bodies. I'm not saying any of that. But I'm saying that the way that we are having these conversations, I don't think these are always applicable, culturally applicable for the Black community.
Okay.
And I think that some of this stuff it's more of a repercussion of oppression versus how do we now recreate healthy families, communities, and individuals that dwell inside of them. I don't feel like the arguments and the conversations would be, I don't even think abortion would be as much of a topic if we could talk about building healthy families, communities.
Ooh.
I think because we're in a toxic society that this thing of abortion is such a real thing. I think because we're in this capitalistic, we're in a place where people dog eat dog world. That's why this is even a thing. I think in a very functional society that it would not even be a thing.
You're not aborting if the society is functional. Yeah, I so agree.
You're not even talking about this. So that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I think we're dealing with symptoms and not dealing with the problem.
Ooh. So it's a part. So what I'm hearing from you, you're saying it's a part of our dysfunctionality in our society. Like other societies are not dealing with abortion. Other places, let's say that.
And I would have to look at the research, but I would say that more functional societies not deal with abortion. I would lean out there, throw myself out there to say that.
Like that it is a symptom of this dysfunction that we live under.
Dysfunctional culture,
the chaos, the racism, all of it.
Just think about it. Who would want to abort a child if they had a good man
in a good life?
In a good life, who would want to do that?
Oh,
why would you want to do that?
Why would you do that? That would just be a malicious person, and usually functional society is not a lot of malicious going on.
It's only because we're in this dog eat dog world, hamster wheel, rat race, and I gotta get my degree, gotta get my education. I'm not having another child because I'm poor. I can't afford to take care of the one I got. I don't want to bring a child into an oppressed society. I don't want my children to feel the trauma that I felt. These are the reasons why people abort children.
So we're not talking about that. Look at you. Listen, we're gonna have that conversation. We gotta have that conversation. We gotta have that outside of this. I love shout out to Kelly. Shout out, bro.
I appreciate
Shout out to you. Enjoying the show as always. You're right. It affects men as well. And I love when it comes from men and they say that. Women I've been with and know still live with trauma. Yes, it's traumatizing.
And I appreciate
the process of it is traumatizing.
I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you, Queen, for because I mean these are you really helping me flesh my thoughts out here. Honestly, it's one of those things that I even personally myself just kind of like know that something's there, but it's interesting that I'm doing it on the air in this way because and what gave me more when I saw it, when I heard other people, when I saw the people in the chat room say, yeah, it's right. You know, Black people don't typically look at things like that. It gave me more inspiration to explore it more in my mind and what the problem is. You understand? So we get to this point that the society is itself. If we were in a more healthy society, we wouldn't be talking about this.
That's what I'm telling you. You just nuanced that into something we need to talk about because that is true. Like you said, if you're living well, your man is well, your wife is well, everything is well, why are we even talking about abortion? You want to bring a child into your beautiful life, a husband and wife.
I know my wife. My wife
or
would
even
love to
like
have
one
another
night
baby.
stands. Really?
Say it again.
You said your wife would love to have another baby?
Yeah, she would. You understand? For various reasons, she couldn't have another baby, but she would love. And hold up, it's not about my wife. What I really was going to say was this: I talked to so many women who desire to have. They talk about there's this desire in a woman. I've only heard some women, you know. I've heard a lot of women through their own trauma. I'm talking about women who are capable of having children, not women who can't have children. Which in African cultures, some African cultures, if you're not able to have a child, your sister will have a child for you or something like that. You will still be a mother.
You're gonna have a child, yes.
So yeah. See again, this is a very chaotic society that doesn't think about everybody and all members in it.
That's so true. That's so true. Because some women just cannot have,
and they want one. I'm not saying it's a thing, not like a thing, but
it's true.
Yeah.
Being transparent, I could say that. That's true.
Yeah, and I don't think people talk about it enough. That when I talk to women, they say after they haven't had a child for a while, and they see other children, there's a craving that you're like, dang, I want a child. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't notice, like, damn, like you thinking, like, hold up, who wants to go through 9 months of pregnancy again after they'd already been through 9 months of pregnancy, kicks, flicks, and had to push that little sucker out of them, and they want to go through that again, and they still want more. Exactly. Although they complained about that process to some degree, but they still, that is a craving inside of them to give birth again.
And when you're around other children, you know, it makes you value children, makes you want to have a child. It makes sense.
Like right now, I literally,
as a woman, I could say that.
And I want grandchildren. I never, I want, like right now, I literally want grandchildren. I do.
Yeah.
So, and this is different. This is even one step away, or maybe.
But is that healthy? Is that what healthy is, though? Wanting to extend the family?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's what healthy is. Yeah.
Well, at least that's what nature is.
Yeah, and health. That's true. That's what nature is. And when this abortion come into play, and it's such a divisive thing, we got to. Why is it divisive? Mm-hmm. And I love what we're talking about.
Well, my sisters. Well, hey, when let's say family members had miscarriages, that hurt me. You understand that because you're going through that whole period of time. You done named the child, rubbed the belly, you did all of that, and that is very, very hurtful.
Very hurtful.
And so yeah, I'm just saying, like this
listen, we're gonna revisit this conversation because it has popped up and it's something we have to talk about. We've almost been here 2 hours. This has been a very riveting conversation talking about the great debate. It brought out a whole nother conversation that we must have: abortion and the implications of, and why are people aborting. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, and it's saying, like, when we look at these policies, you have to really look at who these policies are developed for and how these policies themselves will improve our community versus put a band-aid on the problems that's already there. And I'm suggesting that many of these policies are white liberal policies and people who believe their world are already okay. So their fight looks a little different.
Okay.
You know,
I
and
agree.
we do,
I
we
mean,
jump.
even like LGBT, I mean,
We
people
done
say
made up
that. I don't think black people would. I think we're very conservative there too. I mean, it's some conservative with that. I listen to my
LG,
mom and her
LG,
generation. The
LGP,
alphabets. I don't want to mess it up.
LGP. What was that?
I didn't say P.
Rewind it back.
I didn't say P.
Rewind it back, y'all.
I
Right.
love my algae. So listen, I love the alphabets. I didn't say no P.
You're tired. I'm not the only one tired. LGBTT.
I didn't see no P.
You said LGBT.
Whatever.
What P stand for, Queen?
P stands for no particular.
Okay.
Yeah. So Proper said, nope, having children is not etched into all of our DNA. I don't think it's etched in our DNA. I think it's a natural movement of a human, of nature. It doesn't have to be etched, but we are here and we can procreate. I think it's something that naturally, in a natural state, in a natural society, we look for to continue the society, and that's to have children.
I don't know if Proper made that clear. Nope, having children.
I don't know what that meant by it's not etched. I don't think it's etched.
I think children. I mean, I don't know what he means, but I think what he probably is saying is some individuals are incapable of having children. Maybe not personally.
I believe that
personally.
But etched is a different. He put etched.
I mean, when he says DNA, I'm wondering if he's saying on a genetic level. And I imagine some people are incapable biologically. But then there's maybe he's saying that, and that's a fact.
That's a fact. A lot of times we can't get the nuance of you guys' comments, but he said that. JT Facts, welcome JT. I believe most of the abortion fight isn't about abortion; it's about power and population. You just got to the conversation. I said it. You're correct. I think population. I don't know about control, but population not being able to populate.
No, I think
one of the problems.
But I think what he's saying is also on the other side is doing the opposite. Saying the same thing you're saying, but now controlling.
You're right. With a control.
Exactly. Controlling the amount of black people and other ethnic.
Absolutely, I agree. Yes. Because thank you for clearing that up. He's talking about on the other side, like controlling people from actually becoming to actually procreate. You want to stop some of this procreation that's happening.
And one of the things that we keep hearing is in 2055 or something like that.
No, 36.
Well, it's 36 now. Yeah, that the minorities are going to be the dominant group or something like that, and
it's not going to change the system.
And so
the system is still going to be white.
As if in Johannesburg there was more whites than blacks or something, right?
Thank you. It was always more Africans than whites, but they still controlled everything. So it's about fair, it's about system, it's about money, and these the EU is everywhere. So
they stand laughing out of disgust, not really. Sometimes
they stand together, even if it's four blacks and one white. They coming for you.
It's not really it's like a laugh. It's not a real laugh, though.
It's not a real laugh. Listen, we almost here 2 hours. It's been an hour. It's almost 2 hours. We haven't never. This is our longest show. The Great Debate has brought out other debates between me and Da, and we're going to continue out of this conversation some shows. What I will say, huh? What'd you say? My analysis of this debate, and then Da, you're going to give your final. Let me see what Proper says. Some definitely lack the capability, but others are simply not desirous of having children. No matter how much time we spend around children, still don't have to feel I want one. Okay, so it's more of a personal statement. That's fine. You cannot want them, but I think that we're naturally made to
But that,
continue to have children.
and
that's
that is
natural.
And that's uncommon.
Yeah, that's not
so,
common.
Yeah, that's uncommon. I mean,
it's
so
uncommon,
that's
but we respect that. But
idiosyncratic type of thing.
Yeah, that's his personal, and that makes sense. It definitely makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to say for the great debate, if we want to go say who won or who didn't win, Kamala won. She swept him. I'm telling. She laid it on him. I believe that she poked him, and she was able to control everything of that debate. My problem is he shouldn't even be there. So how about that? So Trump is a horrible candidate, but I don't think she's a great one either, but she's much better than him. That's my analysis.
Trump said, to close this off, right? Trump said that Democrat-led cities, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he said they're having abortions at 9 months.
Like who does that? Come on, bro. Like he said that they have the baby and then they decide what they're gonna do with it after. Come on.
Like then he said even afterward. And then he said after then they get this guy here. The fact, it shows you, like you said,
something's wrong with us that he could even be on television talking this.
The illness of our society.
We're ill. If we can invest in something like that and say it makes sense.
But our minds will overlook that type of craziness.
Really? He's not even mediocre. He's simple. He is a simple fraction.
What do you mean?
0 over 0 equals 0.
You heard one of his responses, though.
Ridiculous.
What? Did you hear his response? I don't know the name of the school. I don't really be into white people stuff like that.
Oh, so, he's Wharton. He went to Pennsylvania. That Ivy League joint that his father paid him to go into. That thing.
You're good. You picked up what I was trying to say. I don't be knowing white people stuff. I really don't really care. I really don't care about white people stuff like that. So I'll be knowing like
that's the U of Penn, baby. That's the Ivy League business school.
What is it?
Wharton School of Business.
So she was like, so the thing he did, he was pretty cool on that one. She was like, so she started quoting data from the Wharton Business School, and then he so subtly said, okay, I went to Wharton, I know professors there. In other words, he didn't even directly say that. He didn't directly come for Howard, but in a way he came for Howard. Indirectly took a shot.
They're always going to take a shot, bro. Yeah. And see, they can pay for all of their schools and go into school, because you cannot tell me that simple fraction could get in any business school.
That simple fraction.
That's what I call him. 0 over 0 equals 0. He's a simple fraction. That's what he is. And on top of that, if he did get in the Wharton Business School, why do you have six bankruptcies? Well, Mr. Businessman of the Year.
Bankruptcies, I mean, in the business world is actually,
it's not a bad thing, but I'm saying the amount that he's had.
Six bankruptcies to not pay off lots of money, that might be a good strategy.
Might not be a bad strategy, but how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that with a country? Keep bankrupting it, and
the country, in essence, is bankrupt. So
I agree. That's a good one, Da. Essentially, it's already there, right?
Yeah. So.
All right, so let's get your analysis. I told you heard mine. We had Trumpy and Sister Mala.
You talking about who won the debate?
No, of the debate, the great debate. This is the reason why we're here tonight. We got off on a few.
In my less real, my mind that in my mind that's not assessing this thing from a real detailed level, and understanding that neither one of these people are going to bring about liberation and any of that type of thing, getting all that stuff out the way. Kamala won.
Hands down.
Just because she was very poised.
Yes.
She used her women facial gestures at the right times.
She is what?
Her woman's facial gestures. She was making a little facial gestures.
I'm just saying, woman's facial gestures.
It's women have the ability to verbalize things in nonverbal ways a lot better than men can do sometimes. And
I'm gonna look that up.
you know,
Go ahead.
I might be wrong, but I don't, I'm saying the way that men do things in a way, and women do
Exactly.
things. And she used that really well, I would say.
Yeah. I think that was a black woman thing. That's her blackest thing, them facial expressions, baby.
You could add black. I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't honestly. I
That is
saw
absolutely her blackest thing. Them facial
I,
expressions and how she reacts to
she did
things. And when she
the
does
whole.
this and
I,
how she holds her face, them black women stuff, baby.
but that could also be, just to be honest with you, some people of color
That could be
from
a put on.
no, people of color from other places do had that level of sass as well.
From what other place, please?
Uh,
What other place for 200?
um,
Alex.
I've seen women from other places, people, melanated women, have a lot in common, a lot of similarities. As human beings, there are similarities across this globe as well as our uniqueness. Dancing and rhythm is not only a black thing. Sass is not just a black thing. It's just not. I find that even some Asian women and men, they tend to have some. I mean, people have similarities all across this globe. I'm not gonna say we're all exactly alike. But
Alex didn't give it me for 200. I said Alex for 200 and I didn't get my 200. Keep going.
well, I'm gonna say Indian women um, do have a lot of similarities with
To who?
to some black women, and black men. They do.
Really? Duh.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, you
Okay.
you never talk to like if you ever talk to people from, it's okay. Let me give you an example. If you
Because
go
they're
and you
Asians.
let me
Indians are
no,
Asians.
it doesn't matter. That's just a continent. Africans can be Asians too. So
No, we don't.
they in Afro Asiatic. So what I'm saying is this: if you go to let's go to an Indian restaurant and you talk to some of the younger, they're like, "What's up, brother?" But it's or Arab, but it's different. Like they can like really connect in a way that sometimes European people struggle.
Okay.
Um, but I mean, if you never experienced it, you just never experienced it.
I'm not saying never. I'm saying that I don't see where they have any similarities like that. I think
Yeah,
that they are
like
not
what?
as, I don't think they're like a white person. I think white and how we react to things is a big difference. And I think it might be the culture and all of those things.
You know
But I think they're also not as
what?
to the left as I would say a white person, but I don't think they have a lot of similarities to the
So,
African. No.
so you saying that they have something more closer to black people than some white folks?
I said they're
Culture?
not as extreme as white, and when they can't just really connect, I think they connect more than I would say a white person, but I'm not saying similar. That's what I will say.
Well, I mean, I guess depends on how you operationalize that. But nonetheless, um,
Nonetheless,
I think that Kamala did a great job at challenging him. I think she did a great job when what people are pointing out a lot of times is that they fact check Trump 2 times and Kamala none. But the reality is, no one's. I'm going to sound like you right now. I haven't heard. I'm going to say this. I haven't. I have not heard anyone say that Kamala never continued to talk when they asked her to shut up. Even when they did, she said she tried to, and then she shut up and she started
and
taking a note. She took a
she was
note.
respectable to the rules. He was not.
She took a note, and then she
Mhm.
came back, and
When
she
it was time for her
utilized
to talk.
she
Yeah.
utilized skill. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Trump didn't utilize skill, because
Huh?
I think that bullying part of him is very attractive to people. But I think for most
Mm.
of us, we would rather see Kamala do exactly what she did, very firmly, very strong. The way she went over there and said, "Look, I'm walking all up in your place. I'm coming.
I think that's what threw him off from the door when she came up in there and said, "I'm Kamala Harris." I think he couldn't handle that. That was too much for him.
I'm coming all over there in your space. I know you're not gonna look at me, but you're gonna feel me. You're gonna see me, and you're gonna touch, and you're gonna touch my hand.
That's a black woman thing, then, bro. That's a black woman.
I know you don't want to touch my hand, but if you don't grab it, you know it's not gonna look good for you.
There you go.
And if you do grab it, you know it's still gonna not look good for you to some degree. So she came in there to win the debate.
She pounced on him from the door.
I feel like she won the debate. Did it feel good to me that she won the debate? Yes. Does that mean much to our problems in our society? No. But anyway, that's how I'm gonna close it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. It felt good, but it's not going to do much for us overall in our liberation and our community. But it looked good. I mean, I saw some things that she did that comes from a black woman. To me, but we'll see.
That mama had some sass.
I believe that. I think she did.
I'm talking about her mother.
Yeah, I think her mother did.
Her mother. Yeah. Believe me, her mother had some sass.
They didn't just didn't just appear out of the mother had something to do with that. I think so.
But her mother is Indian. And I guarantee you,
she is.
And you would have saw her mother around some. I mean, you never seen Indian people when they look just like they black. Like I don't understand. Like you don't see that.
Yes,
I'm talking about.
I do see that. I work with some.
Then you look at the hair. You be like, hold up.
I work with some.
Yeah, I'm talking about very different. But if you become enculturated, that might be a little different.
I work with them. I mean,
Africans
very
act,
dark.
but I'm saying, but Africans act different too than Black Americans.
But they're still African.
I know, but what I'm saying is, or if you get somebody from East Africa, they probably act a little bit more closer to those Indians that you're talking about.
Very close. The Ethiopians.
That's absolutely what I'm saying. So,
but the Kenyans on the same side don't.
To some degree, they do as well.
I don't know.
Kenyans
I got some good Kenyans in my head, in my life.
I got some too, but they still like an in between. Like they still, because the nuances, we are all nuances. You know, this thing ain't set in stone. Look at those Ethiopians dance. They be rocking with that thing.
I need you to get it together. I need you to get yourself together.
They be rocking. you don't know the dance?
Really?
They be killing it. I be loving it. You know what I mean?
Do you know this person?
Woman, that's JT Facts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she killed him with the woman's facial justice.
Yeah, she killed him with the facials. She did. She gave him a bunch of black women.
When
she did that.
You asked me what
I was like, oh, that's black woman.
Oh, so you got mad because I said woman and you made it a big thing. Now you're saying, oh, you made it a big thing because I didn't put black in front of it. At first she was like, what did women do? Well, but then you was like, well, okay. She was giving them all. She was giving black.
She gave some black, but she also gave some intellect. She also gave some preparation. She also gave that I have control of this room.
Black is all of that.
She had control of the room, bro.
But listen,
she gave prosecutor too.
She gave some black, but she also gave. But I am saying black is all of that. The intellect.
I agree.
The preparation, all of that is black.
Ooh, love it.
When oh my God, let me think about this point. She killed him. You hear what I'm saying? She killed him when she started talking about that. When she dropped the goddamn on the New York City, the brothers who got falsely accused up there. He took the ad out of the paper.
The five.
Man, she killed him. I'm telling you, she killed him the whole debate. I ain't gonna lie. She killed him. But when she did that one, and even although I don't necessarily agree with I feel like I can see why people wanted more, and like for her to just say, I'm black and I'm proud. I don't see how that could potentially hurt her, but
I don't think it will hurt her, but I don't think it's necessary.
Hold on, let me finish my thought.
Oh, sorry.
So, because that one you won't let me finish that one because earlier you jumped in on it. So I can see why people wanted her to say that, right? And I don't think it would hurt her, but at the end of the day, I like how she responded. Hold on. Maybe. But I liked her response nonetheless, because when she was on the interview like a week or so before, she just didn't answer the question at all. But her response, I can't remember what the response was, but she did a really good job in flipping it back on him. And I think that's when she started getting to racism in the Central Park 5 and all those different things. I might be conflating it, but I think she did an excellent job in that case. Yeah, she did a superb job. And she called and she let people know when Trump was lying. His stuff was crazy. To me, she made him look like a lunatic. But nonetheless, that's
wow.
Wrap up.
But also, when she said that people said that he's a disgrace, I think that was something that he couldn't handle. The people who were working for him, so I think he couldn't handle anything. He cannot handle anybody not giving him adulation.
But he did a good job, though, too, in his little crazy responses, though. Like, you got to think about other people on the other end. Like, she was like, no, she did an excellent job outlining all the people who left him and said they wouldn't support him no more. But then he was like, they fired nobody. They fired nobody.
I fired them.
I fired people. Look, although he crazy.
Love that.
I fired people. The fact is, like, look at this shithole country, and they fired no one. What?
He sure said it.
Yeah,
he said it.
Look at this country. And this is what Papa was speaking to, right? When Papa was saying, like, dang, I lost how I was going to say, but Papa said something earlier about, there's a base, there's people that he's speaking to, even in the Black community, when he says that. Look, they ain't fire a damn person. and look at you, Black people, what do you have? I think Trump said that some years ago. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, he said it.
You dig?
He said it. He said, what do we have to lose? Listen, I hope that, he said he's not going to debate her again. That came out today. So I hope he gives us some more dialogue. I hope they get him again. Fox News does one. I hope he allowed them to do one, but I doubt it, because he can't handle her. He can't push her around. She's a little too much. And even just a split screen, she looks so much better than him. Lord help. And I'm not saying because she's a Black woman. He just looks a mess. But anyway.
I'm not going to say. I'm going to hold my opinion.
No, I'm not holding my mind. He looks a mess.
I'm talking about... I
that
have some
orange
opinion.
Skin. He looks a mess.
I'm not... Okay. All right. Well, anyway, I'm holding my opinions on both the sides of that screen.
Well, how they look. Well, I think she's a nice looking woman. But trust not that he's ugly or anything. He just looks a mess. He looks a mess.
Yeah.
Totally a mess. Okay. So anyway, that's been our take on the great debate. It wasn't great for Trump. Trumpy lost. So the biggest verses, 67 million people watched this versus, and he lost, baby. So that's how we feel about it.
Go and cast your vote today, family.
Who would you vote for today? That's what I would like to know. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to know with anybody. What would y'all vote? Yeah, and who would you vote for today if you had to vote from that debate?
I'm still figuring it out. Not Trump.
Oh wow!
let me tell you who I'm not voting for. Not Trump.
That's we're on the same island there. I'm not voting for him at all. So listen, guys, vote responsibly. You're only seeing people who are trying to be your president. Everything that they said is not etched in stone. Take it like water. It goes down your throat and then you piss it out.
Okay. All right, Queen, we've been on here too long. Go ahead and close us out strong.
So listen, I really appreciate you guys. It's been 2 hours. This has been a long time. Thanks for rolling with us. We're here every Thursday, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Go to BlackBox Radio and subscribe to Dr. Da. Dr. Dennis, also Wakely, is a bad man. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you next Thursday. Hot and heavy. We've boxed up and out.
Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you.
Good night.
When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're African, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're gonna get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your African. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Whew.